Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte. We're taking a look today at a blockbuster trade that happened on draft day in day number 1 of the entry draft between the Arizona Coyotes and the Vancouver Canucks, and we'll be taking a look at my thoughts on the Ekman Larsson trade in this video. So we're going to start things off looking at really the trade itself. We've got the Arizona Coyotes acquiring a 2021 first round pick, which was the 9th overall selection, which they ended up selecting Guenther with that pick, a 2022 second round pick, a 2023 7th round pick, the final years of Louis Eriksson's $6 million contract, Jay Beagle's final year of his $3 million contract, Ekman Larson's final year of his $3 million contract. In exchange, what do the Vancouver Canucks get in return? Well, the Canucks get Ekman Larsson, and they also acquire Conor Garland's rights, which he is a restricted free agent this summer. So let's dissect this a little bit more. So what do the Arizona Coyotes get? Coyotes fans, what do you get for Ekman Larsson and Conor Garland? Probably the two most valuable assets on your team. Well, you pick up a 2021 first round pick, which ends up being Guenther. Guenther is going to be a very talented player with the Arizona Coyotes. He may jump into the lineup this season. That's just really how good he is. He was a rookie in the WHL. He's a younger guy, so maybe he returns back next year, probably for the better, especially with how the Coyotes look right now. It's probably better he goes back to the Edmonton Oil Kings. But a very, very, very good selection to replace a guy like Conor Garland in your top 6 for the future. A 2022 second round pick, again, pretty self-explanatory, as well as the 2023 7th round pick. Pretty self-explanatory draft picks. Now they pick up Louis Eriksson, who is 36 years old. Like I mentioned, he's making $6 million this year. So that is the final year of his contract. Again, a cap dump. He may play in the bottom 6 if he plays at all in the NHL, but with the Coyotes roster, he actually may make the lineup. Andrew Ladd could be on the first line for the Yotes this year. Jay Beagle, his final year, he's 35 years old. He's making $3 million this season. Again, another cap dump, another bad contract by Jim Benning. And Ekman Roussel, who's 31 years old, again, 1 year left at $3 million per season. So they dump $12 million out the door to the Coyotes. But it did come at a price. They gave up the 9th overall selection, which maybe they could have got Kent Johnson. Doesn't really matter. He ends up going at number 5 to the Blue Jackets, so maybe it didn't really mean that much anyway. But this is a guy that, real quick shout out to Mike McGinnis. Thank you for joining the channel. I just saw your notification. But moving into this, again, it's cap dump. It's $12 million in bottom 6 guys that you're probably never going to see again. Now, I believe they still have 1 more year left on Brandon Sutter's contract, if I'm not mistaken. But hopefully Jim Benning learned his lesson from these contracts. Now, the problem is, did you just kick the can down the road in picking up who they acquired? And I'll get to that right now. So the Vancouver Canucks, Jim Benning, and the Canucks get Ekman Larsson. Now he's 30 years old, making $8.25 million per season for the next 6 years. He will be 36 years old when this contract is done. Now, the Arizona Coyotes did retain 12% of the salary, which is a little under $1 million per season for the next 6 years. So that is a big commitment from the Coyotes. Now, Conor Garland as well comes the other way. 25 years old, restricted free agent. They get his rights. I expect them to get a deal done. But again, they have some big guys they have to re-sign this summer ahead of him. Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes, not to mention Conor Garland now. So they're kind of kicking the can here down the road, but they're also creating more cap issues for themselves right now. And I'm not really sure what the mindset here is of Jim Benning. Or is there another trade coming? Because I don't see how the Flyers. It's 12:30 at night, guys. I apologize. I don't see how the Canucks really gained any cap flexibility, because you just took Ekman Larsson's deal. Like, I don't understand necessarily. And the thing is, I like Ekman Larsson. I have his jersey in my closet. I'm going to have that for the rest of my life. He is a very talented player there, but I just don't know what I think of the Canucks picking up more kind of dead salary. And I hate to say that about Ekman Larsson, but just looking at some of the guys they have to re-sign, you have Elias Pettersson, Conor Garland, Jason Dickinson. Again, doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Brandon Sutter's contract is over, so that's good. Niels Höglander, he projects to be a top 6 forward. His contract's over in 2 years. You have Bo Horvat, who is making $5.5. You know he's not going to make that when he's 28 years old. He's going to look for more money. Brock Boeser has 1 more year left on his deal at $5.875. He's going to look for more money. And now let's go to the back end, where you still have to re-sign Olli Juolevi, Jalen Chatfield, Quinn Hughes. Like, there's a lot of guys here that they have to re-sign. They don't have enough money. Not to mention, you're still paying $6 million per season for the next 3 years to Tyler Myers. You're paying $5.95 per year to Nate Schmidt. They have to move some more money if they want to re-sign Pettersson, Hughes, and Conor Garland. And that's not even talking about next year's problem, which is re-signing some of their big boys, like Brock Boeser. I just don't know where this money's going to come from. The salary cap is staying flat for the foreseeable future. Now, you may get a little bit of flexibility when Michael Furland eventually moves on, Braden Holtby, and his 4.3 comes off the books. They were probably hoping to lose that to Seattle. But there are moves that could be made here for the Canucks before the beginning of the season. Expect them to be active this year. And I think when they missed out on Rasmus Ristolainen, which the Philadelphia Flyers ended up acquiring, I think they circled back on the Oliver Ekman Larsson stuff. They came to a deal. And that's why I'm wearing the Coyotes jersey. It's not necessarily because I think they won this trade today, but I think they win this trade in the future because Oliver Ekman Larsson's contract, I love Oliver Ekman Larsson. He was the heart and soul, the franchise of the Arizona Coyotes, the captain, as well as Conor Garland was a good piece. But long term, it's really hard to convince me that first round pick, which is now Dylan Guenther, like, you could make the argument that Conor Garland is scratched out for Dylan Guenther. They have the second round pick. Who knows what they select today with that draft pick? They have the 7th round pick. Maybe they pick up the next Pekka Rinne or Henrik Lundqvist, and you instantly win that trade. And who knows? Maybe they get something out of Antoine Roussel and Jay Beagle if they retain half at the deadline for those deals. So the Coyotes get some flexibility here, and the Coyotes and the Canucks really strap themselves up here. So I like this trade for the Canucks. In terms of Oliver Ekman Larsson is a good defenseman, in my opinion. I think a lot of people disagree with that. Maybe I just have too much of a lust for Oliver Ekman Larsson because I really do like him. And he really has dropped off over the last couple of years. And if you continue on that trend, you're looking at a defenseman that could really be a problem in the final. Really, within the next 2 years, this contract could be 4 years of hell for the Vancouver Canucks. And Conor Garland, you're putting yourself in a situation where you may have to choose between Brock Boeser next year or Conor Garland this year. Or have they already made that decision? And is that why they brought in Conor Garland? Because they think he'll be cheaper than what they may have to give Brock Boeser next year. So there's definitely some questions here for the Vancouver Canucks. More questions than answers after this trade. But the question is, Jim Benning able to move out some of this dead cap, but will he be able to capitalize on it? Will he be able to get good deals for Hughes, Pettersson, and Garland? Because that's really going to make up the future of the Canucks. Because like I said, the next couple years, you have to re-sign Niels Höglander. Eventually, when Vasily Podkolzin comes over, he's going to want some money at some point. You have guys like who's already on the roster, Brock Boeser's contract next year, Bo Horvat, the captain, in 2 years. So there's really there's no break here for the Vancouver Canucks. The cap continues to be an issue. So I wonder what we're going to see Jim Benning do. But overall, as of right now, I have to give the win to the Arizona Coyotes because cap space is the most valuable asset in today's NHL. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL and more videos just like this one, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.